Being healthy and having the right team of people around me in order to stay healthy is super important to me. The people that I see may not be the kind of healthcare providers that you think they would be, and it certainly isn't just doing whatever my insurance company tells me that I should do. So I'd like to share with you how I find great healthcare. Hi, I'm Dr. Stephen Wangen, the founder and medical director of the IBS Treatment Center. Now, the first thing that I want you to know is that there is a massive difference between being healthy and diagnosing disease. So I'm focused on being healthy. That's what I'm talking about here. And when it comes to optimizing your health, you have to be the leader. No one else is going to do that for you, and no one else can do that for you. You can look to others to diagnose diseases, but you cannot look to them to be in charge of you being healthy. Now, my team of healthcare providers consists of the following: a naturopathic doctor, a really good deep tissue massage therapist, a chiropractor, a dietitian, and finally, a general practice medical doctor who I see as my GP, but that's actually not maybe how I would recommend that you do it. But keep in mind that your medical doctor probably doesn't know what the rest of those people know. Although they often like to act like they do, right? Or like they're experts in all those other areas. And they're often willing to dismiss what those other experts say or do. And if your MD does that, either ignore them or find a new one, because medical doctors are primarily here to diagnose and treat disease. And that's useful and it's necessary, but it's very different than optimizing your health. Now, of course, they'll also help refer you right to other MD specialists, which you're going to need occasionally, such as when you need the gastroenterologist or you need the ophthalmologist or whatever, right? There's a long list. But let's start with the first person on my team. Now, the first person on my team is the naturopathic doctor. In my case, that's me. But you definitely want one because naturopathic doctors are experts in all of those cool things that you wonder about and are probably already spending money on, right? Like vitamins and minerals and botanical medicines and all of those supplements that you see everywhere. They have extensive training on all of that. They literally spend hundreds of thousands of hours learning about what those things are and what they're valuable for and what you can use them for. They also have a ton of training on food and nutrition. And they have experience with and appreciate things like chiropractic work and Chinese medicine and just actually tons of different forms of healthcare that are out there that you may not have yet been exposed to. And you simply can't get that from medical doctors. It's not their area. They do not have training in those things, even if they have opinions on them. So you want somebody like your naturopathic doctor who can do that, right? Who can tell you what those things are and when you need them. And they can function as your primary care doctor in many states because they are trained in primary care medicine and can also prescribe medications in many of those states as I can here in Washington. Now, these naturopathic doctors can also refer you to specialists, including medical doctors, as well as all of these complementary and integrative or alternative care providers, like I've been mentioning above. All right, so that's where I start because that's what I want in my primary care provider. Now, keep in mind also that many naturopathic doctors are specialists, like my team of IBS specialists here at the IBS Treatment Center. The naturopathic doctors who are specialized in various areas, and they might be specialized in all kinds of different things, have experience and expertise that you simply can't get anywhere else, not even from your general practice naturopathic doctors. All right, enough about that, right? That's the first person on my team. Now, the second person on my team is my massage therapist. And I get a massage about once a month or so, and more often if I have injuries. And this is not a luxury. These aren't necessarily relaxing massages. For me, they're only beneficial if it's a really deep tissue massage. So it's not exactly comfortable, but it's really effective. And I can't imagine how much pain I'd be in if I didn't have fantastic body workers that have helped me all these many, many years get over all kinds of injuries and chronic problems that develop just from sitting and using the computer all the time, right? The third person on my team is my chiropractor, and I have an awesome chiropractor, and I probably see him about once a quarter or so 3 or 4 times a year, and he's really key to help keeping me in shape. And sometimes I need to go more often, but if I need to go too often, then I probably really need to work a lot on my flexibility and my posture and get some deep tissue work done. Now, I also mentioned a dietitian, and this person's super important too because you eat every day, and food is literally the foundation of good health. There's no substitute for that. There's no replacing that. Now, because I'm a naturopathic doctor, I have a ton of training in diet and nutrition, so I function as my own dietitian, but I really highly encourage you to have a dietitian on your team and work with them a lot up front, and then check in with them every year and make sure that you have a really good diet and that you have a dietitian who truly understands food and diet and isn't just somebody who's counting calories or telling you some generic information, but somebody who really knows the nitty-gritty about food and diet. And okay, finally we get to my medical doctor. And I see my medical doctor once literally every few years, and he tells me, oh yeah, you're really healthy. Well, because I spend a bunch of time, right, focusing on being healthy. But really, seriously, he's good for covering the basics, right? And just kind of somebody so I don't get too caught up in my own thing and I get another opinion, right? And I like him, but he doesn't really do much to help me optimize my health, right? He's mostly there to catch diseases, right? And to diagnose diseases. And that's great. I want somebody like that. But I should point out that I do not consider his advice more important than anyone else's on my team. And why would I, right? He's not an expert in those other areas. And people often assume that your medical doctor is, but that's not the case. They're trained to be medical doctors, not to be all those other things. So I want you to know, within each of these areas that I mentioned, right, all these different people, you still have to find the right people that work for you, right? The ones that you like and that make a difference in your life and that are really valuable to you. And remember, you are the leader of your health team, right? You're the only one who can do that. So keep looking until you find the right people. And I know it can be a long process, right? It can be a pain, it can take time, but it really is worth it. And that's exactly what I do and what I've done. And sometimes it takes me even years to find somebody that I really find that super valuable to my healthcare team. But then I keep them as long as I can, right? And sometimes for decades, I've literally had some people that I go to for years and years and years and years. And so it's been super valuable once I found them. Now for you, the team might look a little different, and that's fine. Everybody's a little different. It might vary depending on your needs at the particular time in your life. For example, there have been times when I've had a counselor, right, that I saw, or I had a physical therapist, et cetera. I had different people that are on my healthcare team, and they have all been super important and really valuable and have helped me in all kinds of different ways. So make sure you find the kind of people that you need for your health. I hope that this was at least a little bit helpful and gave you some insight into how I developed my team and for staying healthy, right? And I've spent my entire life focused on this topic and on this subject, and so it's been really valuable for me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a healthy day.